All right, so here we go. So we have the total revenue from selling X widgets. What's a widget? Does anyone know what a widget is? Has anyone seen the movie Back to School? It's an 80s movie with Rodney Dangerfield. Is the answer really no? Are all of you that uncultured that you have not seen one of the greatest comedies of all time? A widget is a fictional product. That's what it means. It's just a bullshit word. It just means fictional product. Okay, so I give you the revenue function, and I have two parts here. I want you to give me an expression that gives the exact revenue from the sixth unit, and then part B, use marginal analysis to estimate the revenue. So let's focus on part A. Who wants to tell us the answer? And now in the last lecture, I got a whole bunch of answers, and then we did everyone's favorite, a poll. So let's see, what kind of answers do we got? Let's just start filling the choices. Last lecture, I had 10 different choices. Well, really 8, because 2 of them, they're kind of not sure, none of the above. So I'll give you a second to think about it. What is the expression? Write an expression. I don't want a number. Just to make it clear, I don't want a number. I don't want like 40. I don't want that. I want a symbolic expression. Okay, that's what I want. Like pretend for part A, you don't even know what the revenue function is. There should be a I'm still staring at the problem choice for Paul's. Well, that'd be the not sure.
Can't you do what CJ just said? Yeah.
Okay.
In the chat, but you would add 6 in for X. I don't know.
Okay, you said 6 for X. Okay, so that'd be R of 7 minus R of 6. Okay. We have any more choices? Yeah, the not sure has to encompass everything, right? Staring at the problem, crying, praying, I'm asleep. The not sure is a very all-encompassing choice. Do you have any other choices? I have a whole bunch I can write, but I wanted to see if anyone else had any other ideas. Okay. So what about R prime of 6? R prime of 7? R of 6 minus R of 5? R prime of 6 minus R prime of 5? R prime of 7 minus R prime of 5? 4, 5, 6, 7. R of 6. I think those are the 8. And then we'll do one of the above. Not sure. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. And those are the poll options. So give me a second to just write down the poll. What is the revenue from the 6th unit? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oops. Okay. All right, here we go. Bam. No, it's a filter. They're not real classes. Here, I'll do a different filter. How about that? I'll do here will be magical unicorn. How about that? Oh, you really can't see it because of the map behind me. Here. All right. So like many of you, I'm sleeping. Sarah, what do you think these choices are going to look like? Do you think most people are choosing like 2 or 3 choices? What do you think? You think everyone's like choosing just one choice? What do you think is going to happen here?
My bet's on like 3 or 4 of them are going to be in the top, and then
Okay.
2 or 3 are going to be pretty close.
Okay. And you think they're all going to be wrong?
Most likely.
Okay. Seven people didn't vote. Yeah. Didn't someone say everyone gangsta until Dr. G does a poll? Vote early. All right, there we go. So the most common answer was not sure. And then the next most common answer was choice B. Okay. So that was number 1. That was number 2. It's okay to be not sure. Okay. And then what was number 3? E. Okay. So one of these choices is correct, and that is choice E. So choice E is correct. Yay, I got it. So so first I'm going to explain why, and then we'll kind of discuss some of the other choices. Okay. So first of all, if I want to get the revenue of just the 6th unit, right? I like to think about it like this if you're ever unsure. So let's look at 6 units. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How can I get the revenue of just that one last block? Okay, so what I can do is I can find, well, let me do like this. I can find, let's fucking highlight it. I get the revenue of everything, right? That would be just R of 6. Right, remember R of 6. So that actually also explains choice H. I don't know who actually chose it, if anyone did. But R of 6 gives you the revenue of everything up to unit 6. All first 6 units, that's what you get from all 6 units. Okay, but I only want the revenue just from that one block, right? So now what I can do is, well, obviously I can take off the revenue from the first 5 blocks, right? Because if I do the difference between these, I'd only be left with block number 6. Now, what is the value of the revenue from those first 5 blocks? That's R of 5. So the difference between these then gives me exactly what I want, the revenue from block number 6, which is R of 6 minus R of 5. Okay.
Yeah, but in the marginal revenue summary where you said for an approximation, you said the R prime of X.
Okay, I think Jitesh said, but you said something about R prime of X, but that's the approximation, Jitesh. Part A actually asked for the exact revenue.
Oh, okay, we're looking at part A, all right.
Right, we're looking at part A. Let's look at some of the other choices. So first of all, part A is wrong because that's not a number, right? That would be a function that you can use in general to find these answers, but it doesn't tell you the 6th unit, it tells you the xth unit, right? How would you describe in English what choice B is? What is choice B? Wrong. It is wrong, but let's give an English description of what it means in the context of this problem.
Is it the revenue at the 7th unit?
The revenue of the 7th unit, that's correct.
7th unit?
Yeah. Morse code, not Morse code. Samuel Morse. What is R prime of X? Oh, sorry, R prime of 6. What is that? It's an approximation of what, though? Be very specific here. It's an approximation of
the 7th unit?
The revenue from the 7th unit. That's correct. Exactly. If I evaluate the derivative at some point, it actually tells me the approximation of the next additional unit, right? So that'd be the 7th unit. What's R prime of 7? I just told you R prime of 6.
Approximation of the 8th unit?
right, the approximation of the revenue from the 8th unit, right? R prime, and the differences of these two, R prime of 6 minus R prime of 5, well, that's just a difference of two approximations. It doesn't really mean anything. And R of 6, we just discussed, is the revenue from all 6 units. The first 6 units, all of them, from number 1 through number 6. Okay. So, having said all that, let's erase. And now our final answer for part A. So what is the exact revenue from the 6th unit? Well, it's R of 6 minus R of 5. Okay, good. And now part B asks me, using marginal analysis, estimate the revenue from the 6th unit. So what number, can you give me a symbolic expression? What should I be calculating for part B? A symbolic expression. Can you tell me?
R prime 5.
R prime of 5. Very good, Peter. Okay. All right, if you're ever in doubt, think about it like this. I'm saying that R of 6, this is the exact thing I want. And I am now saying that that is equal to about R prime of 5. Why does that make sense? Remember the tangent line. This looks exactly like the tangent line, right? If you just move over the R of 5, this looks like the tangent line times 6 minus 5. So it can't be R prime of 6, right? If this were R prime of 6, this would be a 6 here, and those x values wouldn't match up, right? It's the wrong slope of the tangent line, right? So it has to be R prime of 5, right? Or you can think about it, think about it in terms of you're the manufacturer, right? You are already producing 5 units, and you want to know what happens when you go one more, right? Okay, so let's actually calculate that. So R prime of 5. So this was what? Now we actually do need this function. So 40 minus 200 over x plus 5. We take the derivative of that, and then we substitute x equals 5. What do we get for the derivative? We get 200 over x plus 5 squared. We put in x equals 5, and we get 2. That's it.